It's 8:42. This is the Sunrise Morning Show on Sacred Heart Catholic Radio. From Tuscany Press, a new novel is coming out called A Hunger in the Heart. The author is Kaye Park Hinckley, who joins us this morning here on the Sunrise Morning Show. Good morning, Kaye.
Good morning. How are you, Brian?
Oh, grateful to have you with us. I'm very interested in your novel. What's the premise of A Hunger in the Heart?
Okay, well, the premise is my personal experience, that the ones you love can hurt you the most, either intentionally or unintentionally. You know, because there's an old song by the Everly Brothers from the 1950s or 60s, which is when the book takes place, and it's called Love Hurts, and the lyrics go, love hurts, love scars, love wounds and mars, any heart not strong enough to take a lot of pain. And that's true in my novel, A Hunger in the Heart. The question is, after all that, how do you forgive and keep on loving someone who's hurt you?
Yeah, I remember that song by the Everly Brothers, Love Hurts. Obviously, you've been hurt by love.
Well, yes, I think everyone is, because it's a risk. I mean, loving is a big risk, the same risk Jesus took loving us, and look what happened to him.
Certainly. What are some of the main influences that went into this other than your own personal experience?
Experiences that I didn't see because I was too young for World War II, but that I heard about soldiers who came home from World War II. And in my book, which takes place in fictional Gatortown, Florida, one of the main characters, who's the father in the book, comes home wounded from the war, shot in the head, while he saved the life of a fellow soldier. So he comes home a decorated hero, but he comes home with a metal plate in his head. And, of course, this affects every member of his family who loved him. I mean, his young son, Coleman, is left without a reasonable father whose love he desperately needs. Coleman's mother, Sarah Neal Bridgman, resents her husband's heroism, and she turns to alcohol because she can't accept the fact that he's no longer the man she married. And plus that, she blames the soldier that he saved for that. And then Put's own father, Coleman's grandfather, C.P. Bridgman, can't accept the son he raised, is unable to follow in his footsteps in Gatortown. And Gatortown is a town he built and literally runs. He's very tyrannical. So all these people are hurt in one way or another by Put's heroism.
Yeah, and he's the one who really got hurt in this process.
He's the one who really got hurt. But the characters, the people in his family, inflict more pain on each other because of this. But they're common sense voices in the book, too. We have Fig the gardener, who understands and also loves each of the characters. And then there's a little girl, Anna, who's Coleman's friend, the young boy's friend, and his first love. And she's been hurt by love, too, but she reacts very differently than the others. And then matters get worse when Put, the wounded hero, is accused of a heinous crime. But I don't know. I think ultimately the story shines light on the questions of what is love really, how does a person come to forgiveness, and what makes a hero.
Yeah, and how does your Catholic formation enter into this writing process as you use your imagination to develop these characters and this storyline? Right.
Okay. Well, my whole personality affects my imagination. And I write as a cradle Catholic who's never left the church, but I also write as a native Southerner who grew up in the Protestant Bible Belt. And, I mean, I love both my Catholic faith and my Southern heritage. And as I said, I've never left either one behind. So it's impossible to neglect either one of those when I write. But I do think the great thing about being a Southern Catholic writer is that here in the Bible Belt, where I still live, most all native Southerners, the greatest percent are Protestant, know the Bible, quote the Bible, try to live by the Bible. And most of them admit they're sinners, just like the people in my book, in need of being saved. And I don't think you find that anywhere else except in the South to such a degree. So the setting is very ripe ground for fiction, especially if you're a writer like me who's concerned with sin and salvation.
Now, isn't this your debut novel?
This is my debut novel. I have other novels, but this is my debut.
Well, congratulations, and I'm grateful that Tuscany Press has picked up the publishing rights for this. A Hunger in the Heart is the name of the novel by Kaye Park Hinckley. What do you hope readers take away from this experience?
I hope that they take away from the experience that God is present in this violent world today. Each of us has grace within us, which is infused by God, and it's our choice whether we take advantage of it or whether we just neglect it and ignore it. And ultimately in the book, it's not ignored.
So this really deals with some very dark circumstances, some characters that really have a lot of growth to undergo. But don't you see this then as ultimately as a story of hope?
Oh, absolutely. I think what it says to people, I hope, is that God is really madly in love with you. I know He's in love with me, and He's in love with you, Brian, and every reader that's listening out there. And I hope that's apparent of when someone reads A Hunger in the Heart.
Kaye Park Hinckley, the author of A Hunger in the Heart, with us here on the Sunrise Morning Show. And we started this conversation talking about many of the hurts that you have suffered because of love. Was there any healing in this process for you?
Absolutely healing. And that came by the grace of God. But you have to be open to that. I mean, you can go like some of the characters in the book and turn to other things. But if you open yourself to the love of God, you can get through anything. He'll lead you.
All right. Is your book out yet, or is it just pre-order time?
It's out right now. It's at Amazon. It's at Barnes & Noble and, of course, on the Tuscany website. And it's also in the Garden District Bookshop in New Orleans, and I hope to have it carried in some other smaller bookshops.
All right. We'll link it at sunrisemorningshow.com to make it easy for people to find. A Hunger in the Heart by Kaye Park Hinckley. Well, God bless you, Kaye. Thank you for joining us. Good luck with your book, and we hope to have you back to visit one more time before too long.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
All right, coming up on the Sunrise Morning Show, our